Hello, everyone. Here we are. We're back. It's been a little while. And you can see there's been some changes. We have a new face. Say hi, Reese. Want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, my name is Reese Everett Ryan. I'm an actor, musician, story guide for story tables, and it's a lifetime role-playing game maniac.
Thanks for joining in. So Reese is our guest star for this episode, and may come back after that. We'll see. We'll see. Uh, so we have something kind of special. Man, it's weird to be here without Brandon and Rob, though. It's a whole different thing.
It feels smaller, more intimate.
Yeah, it feels smaller. So this is our big idea, though. We're going to be trying, moving around the cast a little bit. Chad is kind of going to be our anchor point. He should be here most times, except when life interferes. But he's going to be holding down the fort, but sort of a rotating cast around Chad, figuring out who's who. So, what we have for you tonight is I think, very exciting thing to bring. This is a D&D module called the Lost Caravan. And you may have seen it pop up on screen during the break a moment ago. Let me show you. So this is what we've got. Oh, that's huge. Hold on.
That's what she said. Wait, are we not doing that?
Ooh, can we make this?
It's timeless.
There we go.
It's timeless. It's a
I mean, it's a classic.
It's truly starting with a bang.
Heyo.
So this is sort of a preview. This is the front page of the Lost Caravan. We got the intro section here, which I will read through in a moment. And then we have this wonderful art done by Callie. Our wonderful Callie Max Sailor right here, my beautiful wife. She did all this art. And I did the text and the adventure, and we just got it up on DM's Guild today, like 3 hours ago. So this is sort of our release party, coming out party for this for this module.
Not sure that's the right term, but carry on.
What's the term when
Launch. Launch.
launch? All right, launch party. I was looking for the term like when someone comes of age and they throw like a big soiree for them.
Quinceañera?
Bar mitzvah?
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
bar mitzvah?
You know
bat
what?
mitzvah.
Let's just stick with launch.
What? Okay.
Because
Sorry.
there's no such thing as a free launch.
That's true. So anyway, it is live now on DM's Guild. We're very excited to have it out. We actually have been sitting on this one for a long time. We wrote it and did most of the art like 3 years ago, and just then got busy and didn't get it out. So we're sort of getting back around to getting some of those things out. So, and here you'll get a chance to see what it's all about. This is also my first time DMing while also managing the tech side. So be patient with me, and I hope we don't crash.
You're selling us so well here.
You know what? Most of these viewers have probably seen us before. They know what we're all about. So without further ado, let's get into the module a little bit. The premise is, to start off, it is a story for first level characters. This is a 2-sheet adventure. So, 2-page adventure, 1 sheet. So the idea is you can take this thing, you can print it at home. The front side is what I just showed you. It has the text, the art, the premise for the adventure, the intro to the adventure. That side is player facing. And if you print this out at home, you can turn it around, and like if you print it double-sided, the back side has all the information that the DM would need. It's all on 1 page, so it's going to be very sort of abbreviated and short. And we expect, like, DMs will add their own improvisation. Like, you will definitely see me do things over the course of this that are not written in the module, because the module is 1 page. So it's very much like I describe it in the text of the thing is like, this is a trellis for you to grow your own flowers on.
All right.
Anyway.
So, are you introducing us to the setting?
Yeah, I am. So the premise is you three are adventurers. You're traveling. Where you're going from, where you're going to, this doesn't really matter so much. You're on a road, a dangerous road, through a forest, but it's not supposed to be that dangerous. Like, it's a little bit of a deep and dark, mysterious forest, but rumor holds as long as you stay on the road, you should be fine. People travel this all the time. And something will happen. So, you'll find out more as we go along, but let's go ahead and get into characters. Do you guys want to describe who each of you are?
Absolutely.
Chad, you want to go first? Sorry, Reese.
Ooh, what?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Claude Datois. I'm a half-elf fighter, a duelist with my fine rapier, defending the honor of the Datois family.
I love it.
How do you say the first part of your name so I don't butcher it? Say it again.
Crew, but with a little bit of like blue cheese on top, you know?
Clue.
Crew.
Yeah, crew, you know?
Clue. Just sneeze.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clue.
Were you called? You know?
Why?
And as far as appearances go, a taller half-elf gentleman clad in a relatively clean and pristine suit of chainmail, proudly jingling along with a jaunty gait.
Nice.
Callie, you want to go?
Sure. I'm Sonora Trey. I am mostly a very quiet, hooded figure. I have a bow and a mysterious background and a mysterious boiling type of scar running down one cheek because I am mysterious.
What was your name again?
Sonora Trey. So Sonora. Not Signora. No Enye involved.
Awesome.
I guess that's me. Good evening, masters. My name is Eagle of the Eagle. I'm a short human. I am accompanied by my ever-faithful companion, Giselle Frenchman. I am slightly below average height for a human and covered with scars.
I love these characters already. Oh my god. You said his name was what was his name again?
Igor.
Master.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. Would you guys do
Some
me a
pronounce
favor?
it Igor. They're wrong.
Would you do me a favor and put your names, character names, into the Zoom window so I can see each of you at a glance? And I would like to take this moment to show that cover image again. So if you were to go get the module on DM's Guild, this would be what you would see. Lost Caravan, a whimsical adventure for a level 1 party. Now this description here is entirely in character from the perspective of Lemma. So I will read it to you. You can read along yourselves. You can imagine you're traveling down the road through this forest. It's gotten past nightfall now. The birds are chirping in the trees. The road stretches out ahead of you, although the shadows under the trees seem unusually dark today. And there's an oppressive air in the forest. There's something electric in the air, something that gives you a bit of a tingle. When you meet, you come around a bend, and I'm actually going to take this off now, and I'll just use that to guide the role-playing rather than reading it directly. You come around a bend, and you find caravan, I will show you the coverage image of the caravan, though, that looks something like this. And as you, I guess, how do you guys want to approach this? They seem to be in some distress. You know, you probably see them before they see you. The man has a hood covering his face. The woman is talking to him. They're kind of seem to be comforting each other. He seems especially disturbed. There's also I'll go ahead and take this away again so you can see us. There's also seems to be a teenage boy there who is also looking upset, but not saying or doing anything at the moment.
I'm no strangers to strangers in the night. Perhaps we should see if they require some assistance.
Ashton, real quick, where are we headed again? And why?
To the noble city of not appearing in this film.
Do we have reasons for traveling or no?
Yeah, you have very good reasons that are totally irrelevant to this story. Look, I made the mistake once of trying to run a campaign that started like with an encounter on the road, and the entire story that I had envisioned was this encounter on the road, and the players just spent the entire time trying to get past it because I told them at the beginning, you're trying to get to this city. And they were fighting so hard, and the campaign was nearing its end, and they're like, we're not even there yet. These things keep stopping us. And finally I was like, look, this is the adventure. There's nothing at the city. This is it. And they were like, you jerk. They'd been trying so hard. So I'm not making that mistake.
Excellent.
So you have good reasons for traveling, and they're totally irrelevant to this story.
Perhaps I should ask, who is the most charismatic among us? Oh, not that guy. Got it.
You're referring to me? Oh, well, you do me too much kindness. Thank you, Igor.
I don't think I did, but all right, sir. Yes, let us approach this caravan and see if we might be of some assistance. I'm terribly sorry about the lisp. I'll get you a handkerchief.
Oui, thank you. I have my own. With a flourish of a little silk kerchief pulled out from underneath my mail coif. I do not need it right now, so thank you.
And I've learned to stand at a safe distance.
She's a quick learner, that one.
It's about this time that, you know, with you guys talking with one another, and I didn't hear any mention of you being especially stealthy, they notice your presence. They hear you sort of chatting with one another, and the woman calls out, "Hail, travelers! Well met." But you can tell she looks a little uneasy. Not necessarily afraid of you, just unsettled in general.
You seem to be in some distress. Is there something we may be of assistance with?
She gives her husband a kind of a glance, and he turns his head away from you and pulls his head down further, or pulls his hood over his face further. She says, "Well, you're right. All is not well with us. I am Lemma, and this is my husband, Barl. Never mind that he does not show his face. He has his
Was he
reasons."
burned by acid or something like that? I have some lovely creams that might help clear that up.
She can't help but smile a little bit and says, "No, not like that, but something has happened." But right about then, the teenage boy waves, "Hello."
Hello.
She says, "This is our son, John Doe." And she seems to just kind of shake her head, and she says, "Forgive me, we're a bit out of sorts at the moment. We've been long on the road, and we were trying to meet our companions. We're traveling with a larger caravan, but they're not here.
We and you lost the track of the caravan. How? Was there an incident, or was there something unfortunate, or was it simple? I mean, ineptitude. Perhaps your husband had his eyes covered while he was driving the horses, or
He gives you a bit of a glare. I would like each of you who want to make a perception roll. And you can just use your own dice at home for this. I trust you.
righty. I have a juicy no modifier.
15.
It'll be a 9.
Oh, that's much better than my 3.
So, Igor and crew, you do not notice anything, but Sonora, you, when the husband kind of does this glare, you look over and you can see a faint outline in the shadows under his hood of like a pig's snout rather than a human face.
I'm going to keep that to myself for the moment.
Okay.
I want to hear what else she has to say.
Sure. She gives you another of those sort of apologetic smiles and says, I'm quite sure it was not incompetence, though I understand why you would think so. Look, we marked the place where we left the trail, and she shows you a tree, and there's 3 little lines scratched in the bark of the tree. She explains, the 3 of us, me and my husband and my oldest son, we went to town to get provisions. And you guys know there's a town not too far from here. She says, we just went to buy some supplies. But when we came back, there was a glade just off the road, right here. And our caravan, the other wagons were parked there, and they're gone. The entire glade is gone.
What do you mean the glade is gone?
It's just not there. And she wrings her hands and she says, and my other children, my youngest, they're with them. My boy, Sondi, is 11. His sister, Tulu, is only 8. I can't rest for worry, but I don't dare go back into the forest. My husband already tried that. And she kind of glances at him and says, well, it didn't go well.
Right. Madame Lima, do you mind if I speak to your son?
Not of course.
We much appreciated.
John Doe, be polite to the nice people. He comes forward and says, hello.
We now you're a teenager, yes?
Yes. I
You-
think
you-
so.
You
He kind
should
of
have
looks to his
known.
mother and she nods encouragingly.
Haven't been keeping up on his math, has he?
Well, you're of the age to where I imagine you might be a little rebellious. Be honest with me. Are your parents incompetent? Just level, just for me. I mean, one-on-one. Kind of put an arm on his shoulder, like, come on, I'm just a man in a fine armor. I come from a position of authority. You understand? It's okay. It's just there,
There he goes, throwing his armor in the mix again.
He says, yeah, they're the best.
I
Right,
don't
the
think
boy's
he
a fool.
understands what incompetent means. Master.
What is that word?
It means you're doing very well, sir.
He brightens up. Oh, thanks. Shucks. His wife, the mother, is kind of like, ugh.
Right, young Jondo, you'll make a fantastic soldier one day. I'd love to have you in my regiment.
Oh, you really think so?
Oh yes, we will have you playing the bugle in no time.
He puffs his chest up. He's all proud.
Well, since we're here, perhaps we can take a look around and see if we can see where this glade has wandered off to.
She says,
And
I would very much appreciate that, but you should know. Well, my husband went into the forest and he came back transformed. See?
Maybe.
She turns to him and he kind of hesitates and she says, It's okay, Barl. Put back your hood. And as he pulls back the hood, you see that where right in the middle of his face is a large pig snout that has totally changed the shape of his face.
I'm gonna go up and invade his personal space and sort of like look at it. No signs of immediate surgery. Either this is very clean work or some sort of enchantment.
Make an Arcana test, Igor.
Ah, yes. My old master, Civil Spleen, he was a great fan of such shapes as this. Arcana, yes, that would be a 19.
Yes, that is excellent. You sense certain, just an atmosphere of this that relates to wild magic. This doesn't seem to be something that was done deliberately, so much as something that happened as a consequence of a wild magic atmosphere.
Oh, if I could tell you stories of the time that I spent down in the laboratory. Sorry, I've never gotten the hang of that word, where such accidents as these were quite commonplace, and oh, did we have such the chuckles. But, yes, there is some sort of magical energy at play here. I would like to investigate further.
The good news, though, is that if this is a wild magic effect, in all likelihood, I mean, it's hard to totally predict these things, but you would say it's likely to not be permanent. Excellent. Igor, I think you were in the middle of saying something.
I think I was saying that, I don't remember what was the last thing I would have said, but I would say that there seemed to be some sort of magical phenomenon, and we should investigate further.
we, my spooky little friend.
All right. I take out my bow.
The woman says, Oh, thank you, thank you. I know it is much to ask, but our caravan master, Kara, can be very generous. If you can help reunite us, it would mean the world. And as you're getting ready, the boy rummages around in the wagon and comes out with a long, heavy walking stick that could easily double as a club, and starts like making ready to go. And she's like, Where are you going? He says, Well, I'm going with them.
We, my friend, now you see, the thing about being a soldier is it takes years of training and a lot of, equipment. You see this chainmail quiver, this is pretty expensive, and so I think it's
I've
best
got
to stay with your
equipment.
friend.
He holds up the stick. And I
And
got training.
That equipment would be best served if you were to remain here and protect your frail parents from any evildoers that might come across you in the night.
He looks at them and frowns and says, Oh, they don't need protecting. They're the most incompetent people I know.
Exactly, sir, exactly.
Nice callback.
Crew is just like,
bring it back
Crew's
around.
just like,
But you see, Tessie's out there and she might be in trouble.
And if you get separated from your family again, your parents will worry even more, which is why we will go find Kara and Tessie for you and bring them back to you safe and sound.
He looks doubtful, and the mother puts her hand on his arm and is like, Come now, John Doe. Just, these nice people will take care of it. And he says, but we should help them.
Here, John Doe, let me give you something to give you a bit of courage. And I will pull out a coin. This is a very special penny. You see, it has gotten me through many a tight scrape in times of trouble. I want you to hold it for me. But first, light.
You cast light on it?
Yeah.
His eyes go wide. Wow. And the mother is like, see, they know how to handle this sort of thing.
Now, it may go dim, but that doesn't mean it's any less special.
He looks really crestfallen. He's like, you sure I can't go?
If we get in too much trouble, we will be sure to call for your expert help.
All right. And he sits down on the edge of the caravan, just his entire body sags dramatically.
Also might want to start doing some crunches. We're getting a little...
He says,
Did you know Igor was so good with the children? I was just going to give him like my dagger or something to play with. That's
no, you might need
Children
that
love
later.
daggers.
I kind of ponder like, I might need it. Put it back in my belt.
the mother goes to sit next to John Doe and sort of kind of gestures you guys to go while he's distracted and starts talking to him.
As they're kind of heading into the forest, can I walk up to the husband?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, when you got that, and I point at my nose, were you touching anything you shouldn't have been touching, digging up graves that should have been left alone, or did it just happen out of the blue?
When you're asking, he kind of shakes his head. And then with the second part of the question, he like starts to try to speak, but just this snort, this totally unintelligible pig sound comes out. And then a look of frustration crosses like his still very human eyes. And he just shakes his head.
Well, we'll figure it out for you then.
Also, point of order, before we arrived here, would I have been able to cast Find Familiar as a ritual?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Great. We're back.
So what's this one's name?
Oh, this one, where did I write down her name? Oh, yes, Giselle Crunchin. Giselle, that's hard to do with a lisp. Crunchin, you know, like a club.
Nice. So, are you guys heading into the forest?
Yes,
Wait.
let's start with this tree that they marked and see if we can find any other tracks leading off into the forest.
All right. You head over to the tree. It is getting dark past that, but you do see some tracks. Looks like pretty substantial number of tracks, like several wagons, lots of footprints came through here going into the forest, but you can't see any depth in there at this point.
Are there like, so there's like there's a wagon trail leading just like into like a woods without like is there a legible trail, or is it like there are trees growing up from in between wheel tracks, I guess is my question.
Yeah, no, the trail, goes between trees and stuff. You just can't see it very far ahead because there's no light in the trees at all.
I will cast light.
All right. You summon some light. Roll me some percentile dice, please.
Oh, percentiles. Yes. Quite fond of those, you know. 35.
35. All right. Yeah, the light spell goes off just fine. You can see clearly as you start following this trail into the forest. However, it very quickly starts getting muddied by like moss and fresh plant growth that starts obscuring the trails. if any of you have the survival skill, you can make a tracking check. Make survival skill check for tracking.
I do.
I do not.
I have investigation. Is that the same?
You can roll investigation, but you might get slightly different results.
Sure.
You said I could roll it. Was there anything else?
No, just roll survival.
Okay. It's an 8, unfortunately.
All right. You quickly lose the tracks. Chad,
Alright.
did you make that investigation test?
Yep, 9.
9. Callie, I think you have investigation too. You can roll that one as well. Different question,
Alright.
but you may be able to.
That one's a little better. 14.
So you do lose the tracks fairly quickly, but you notice as you're exploring, what you notice is that you shouldn't lose them this fast. The kinds of growth that are obscuring them, like there's whole leaves growing over wagon tracks that are only a few hours old. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
While they're deeply like investigating and thinking about this, I'm gonna carve my initials into one of the trees.
All right, sounds good.
Should we just continue in the direction that the wagon wheels were going?
Seems reasonable to me.
You start pushing deeper into the forest, and before long, you do not have to go far before you cannot see the road behind you at all anymore. I would like one of you to roll me a d6.
Yeah.
2?
You are moving along, and before long, you start to hear the howling of wolves, not
Ooh.
very far away. Do any of you have animal handling?
No.
Okay.
A bit of a city slicker.
In a way, I have a bow and arrow. Handling
Can't
animals.
handle those animals.
I'm used to handling them post-mortem.
I think you have nature, Callie, don't you?
I do.
I would let you roll that for this.
No. Yes, I do have nature, yes.
Go ahead and roll nature. That would work for
Okay,
this.
sorry. Okay. Ooh, 19.
You can tell the howls of these wolves that you're hearing are a little bit off. There is the sort of predatory sound, like they are hunting, but there's also like kind of anger and confusion and frustration in those howls as well, which might make them more dangerous. Something's bothering these wolves, and it might make them more aggressive. You'd best steer clear if you have the chance.
All right. I look at them and I say, these wolves seem to be afraid of something, and if wolves are afraid of something, I don't think we should be heading toward them.
So if the wolves are that way, let's say we go that way.
Chloe has been trying to climb up a tree and is just like snapping off branches. Like, yeah, I'm more accustomed to bandits. I was planning on just sleeping up here or something. I don't. Yeah, other way, please.
Roll me an athletics test. See how high up that tree you get.
Oh, sure. Where is this? 19.
You actually get pretty high before branches start snapping.
Sorry, what are you saying down there?
We're going the other way.
Oh, I just. Oh. That's the death out.
You actually see something from up here.
Yeah.
You, looking around, for a moment you're briefly confused because you actually don't see the road. But probably it's just lost between the trees. But in another direction, sort of the direction you were going, you see a brightly lit manor house that actually appears to be on a hill slope, like above the level of the trees. You can see it quite clearly. And what's most striking about this manor is that there are several glowing bubbles in different colors kind of floating around the house.
Relative to the howling of the wolves, like where is how many degrees of separation are we talking about here? Is it like, are they coming from roughly the same area, or
They're not in the same direction, but it's not that. It's sort of like at right angles.
okay? Hey, my friends, clamber down, like clomp down to the ground. I have discovered civilization. I will find us maybe perhaps some fine bread, a little bit of butter, mulled wine, and off. And start marching off into the woods.
Wait, Cruz,
That was
gosh, get back here. Every time that there's wine involved, you're always off.
yeah.
What do you mean there's civilization around? The town is far away.
Oh, well, there was a manor house, well lit, beautifully decorated. I respect some of the flair. It's surprisingly modern for such an, well, respectfully, a boondock. Well, I figure maybe some pleasant company. There's some sort of, seems to be some witchcraft magic, I'm this old guy. So, Igor, that's for you to determine. I don't know, but some sort of a boobles or something.
Well, it is the closest sign of any sort of civilization, or at least, what's the word I'm always looking for? Anyway, they may have seen the passing caravaniers.
Oh, yes, they're on sort of the slope of a hill, so I imagine. Perfect terroir for some grapes. And off, my friends, off we go.
Well, you
All
do
right.
have a nose for it.
And with that, Cruz starts cruising off. Do you guys follow?
No reason not to, unless there are wolves in that direction.
They are not howling at this exact moment. Hard to say. You push on through the trees, and the forest has this cloying sort of closeness as it gets darker and darker beneath the branches, and there's sort of a moist energy to the atmosphere. You still feel this kind of electricity on your skin, like the hairs are standing on edge. You also feel, I think especially Sonora, you feel you're a wilderness person, like you know this sort of thing. You usually have a very excellent sense of direction, and you find that you are losing track of what direction you're going. It's a very disorienting sensation. But once in a while, you can catch a glimpse of the manor through the trees, and that gives you sort of a ability, something to navigate towards at least. Can I get a volunteer to roll another d6?
Sure. 6.
All right, and
Or
roll that. Roll a d4.
Gotcha. 2.
2, and one more d6.
5.
5. All right. As you're traveling along, you all hear a sort of purring sound coming from one of the branches above you. And a little voice says, "And where might you be going in such a hurry?"
I'm gonna float the light up to see if I can see where that voice is coming from.
You see a little dragon with bluish scales, sort of dark blue on the back, fading to ice blue on the belly, and its tail kind of curled up around it, perched on a branch.
Oh, hello, Master. We're in search of some lost caravaneers. Might you be of any assistance in this subject?
Lost Caravaners. Now that does ring a bell. and it sort of shakes its head very abruptly and shakes its head again. And then in a very changed voice, it says, Help me! Help me! You gotta get me out of here! It's me, Rhett! I'm one of the Caravanneers! I've been... And then it sort of shakes its head again, and it coughs like...
You're right, my friend. Hello?
Something strange, I think. I would love to be of assistance, but I seem to be dealing with matters of my own. And it sort of half jumps, half falls off the branch and spreads its wings out and starts gliding away.
Is it gliding towards the manor?
It's very hard to have a sense of direction in this place. You think
Gotcha.
it's maybe sort of toward the manor, but not. It's hard to say for sure.
Can I have Giselle follow it?
Yeah, absolutely. It just goes 2 or 3 branches away, trees down, sort of just out of sight, and finds another branch to land on, and then has another sort of little fit, coughing, and starts chewing on the branch, and then says, Giselle can hear it say in that changed voice, "Let me go." And then back to the first voice that's saying, "Enough of that. Enough. Leave me be."
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Seems to be possibly a matter of some sort of... yes, I would say... once again with the word...
Transfiguration?
No, it's not
I heard you
transfiguration.
say that one
it's-
before.
Some sort of a weak and insecure personality?
Along those lines, yes, a possession, I think.
Possession.
Coupled with transmutation, perhaps. 2 different creatures occupying the same metaphorical space. Or mathematical, even. Very
What
interesting.
could cause that?
Oh, any number of effects, but it seems in this case we might be dealing with unhinged properties that are running loose in the surrounding area.
There have been stories about this forest in the past. Nothing this bizarre.
Right.
Well, perhaps it has something to do with that house on the hill.
I keep losing track of it, though. I don't. Do you guys remember where it is? I feel
Can
like
I
I'm getting
send-
more confused. With...
Giselle up to see
Yeah,
if
go
she
ahead.
can scout out the direction.
Sure. Yeah, she flies up and you can spot the manor.
It seems to be that way.
Right, well, perhaps we march on and, no,
Keep your eye out for Rhett, or the dragon, or whatever the hell that thing was.
we.
So it is in a slightly different direction from this, the little dragon. Do you want to go toward the dragon? Like, do you want to try to follow him, or are you heading for the manor?
I think we need to head for the manor.
I am intent on a little bit of a cocktail. I've been on the road too long.
Yes, it has been at least 15 minutes.
We indeed. My
What if
fine
it's a
boots
house
are
filled with
dusty.
monks?
Well, as you guys start pushing on, I would like another D6 roll.
I got this one. 1.
All right, and do it again.
6.
All right. You're coming along, and you before you see it, you start to hear a kind of snuffling and snorting sound, and some sort of commotion through the trees up ahead.
Oh, sounds like a truffle hunting party.
Or perhaps some people are off in the woods finding their own amusement, if you know what I mean.
Oh, oui. Oh, Igor, I did not think that you would say such things. Wow.
I'm a man
Oh,
of natural philosophy. I know all about these things. You wouldn't believe the parties we had back at the laboratory.
right, and I would much prefer not to imagine it. Thank you very much, Igor.
Can I gesture at them and I say, let me sneak up ahead just in case it's more dangerous than fornication.
Take
Uh,
Giselle with you.
you
All right.
don't want me to come with you as I like march in my jingling chainmail.
I'm good. Why don't you have a rest?
Put a
Yeah,
hand
we
on
understand.
Clue's shoulder. I have decided that we shall remain here.
All right, Callie, make me a stealth check.
All right. It's stealthing it up. Woo! 21.
Ooh.
Excellent. You, to the other two of you, it just seems to. Sonora just seems to vanish. Like, in absolute silence, he slips away into the darkness and then is just gone. Like sinking beneath the water, just vanishing. You sneak ahead a little bit, feeling like you're moving pretty silently. The ground here is a soft loam, so it's easy enough to move quietly on as long as you don't make a grievous error and step on a stick. You come up through the bushes here and can sort of look through. And on the other side of this hedge of bushes and some trees, you see a little bit of a glade. Not really, just a little pause in the trees. And, but there's light coming from that direction. And as you get closer, you look through the trees and you see a small herd of brightly colored, slightly glowing pigs. They're definitely smaller than normal pig size. They're like the size of chihuahuas. And they're glowing in different colors. Like one's green, one's blue, one's red. And they're sort of snuffling around through the underbrush, knocking aside loam, searching around. Coming through the trees, you see this little floating, like, magical glowing bubble. And one of the pigs snorts and oinks in excitement and trots over and jumps up, like almost getting it. And on like the third or fourth jump, he finally gets high enough to reach it, and the bubble pops, and the pig lets out this pleased little sound. And then they all get together and sort of start running off to the next area to start searching some more.
I'm so tempted to steal a pig right now.
They're so small.
Oh, little baby pig!
Put it in a teacup. Carry it with you everywhere.
Can I try to sneak up and grab one of the little pigs?
Ooh, that's going to be a little difficult. Make another stealth test to get close enough. It's going to be a bit harder than the first one.
21 again.
Excellent.
I was like, hold on.
Before you make an attack roll, but while you're rolling it, Chad?
So, can I still connect with Giselle? Can she communicate what's going on to me?
Oh, yeah. You want Giselle to
Okay.
be up there with Sonora?
Yeah. Yes, I had sent Giselle with her.
Okay, yeah.
So, sensing what Sonora is about to do, I'm going to have Giselle, like, get in front of the pigs and try and scare them towards her.
Ooh.
So that's
all
the
right.
help action.
Excellent. So make this attack roll with advantage.
Woo! 18.
That is enough. You grab one of these pigs. It starts squealing and twisting in your arms. Some of the others gather, like some of them run, but some of the others gather around and start kind of yipping at you. One of them lowers its head and does a charge and gives you the cutest little headbutt right on your ankle.
Hey, I'm not gonna hurt it. I'm
It's
not
like-
gonna hurt him.
Not even enough to bruise you.
I hold this. Can it be a glowing like blue pig?
Sure. It
Okay.
starts
I hold
sniffing
the
around.
little blue pig.
It starts sniffing around all over your face. Do you have any magic or magical items active on you?
I don't think so. I'm an archer. I'm a ranger.
All right,
Um,
fair.
no, I don't have any magical things on me. I mean, I have one cantrip, but no items.
It sniffs around
Um,
all over you for a minute or two and then seems to sort of lose interest and it starts looking around at the ground again.
I look at it and I say, "Hey, hey, 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 hey! Is, is anyone in there? I'm trying to rescue you. I think maybe."
It does not show any sign of understanding. It just kind of looks at you with uncomprehending eyes, looks around your face, and then kind of like butts your cheek and tries licking your cheek a little bit, and then loses interest and like starts looking at the ground again.
Can I give it a little bit of food from my pack?
Sure, you pull out some food, and it actually does. It sniffs at it very interestedly, but does not actually seem interested in eating it. Once
That
it
doesn't seem like a pig.
has a good sniff, it decides it doesn't care.
Hmm. Well, you're
At
coming
this
with
point,
me.
I'm
I
gonna
cannot
start-
take it back to my friend.
and I'm gonna start leading Clue in the direction that I'm getting from Giselle.
All right.
Just finished there. This tree is also mine. Oh, yes, yes.
That's a good idea. We could use markers going back through the forest. Good thinking.
Yes, that was my intention. Yes. Oh, yes, hello. If and who is this?
Seem to have acquired a tiny little porcine pocket pal.
I know it's very cute. It doesn't talk, and it doesn't really seem to eat. But look at how cute it is.
Can you hold on to that for just a while? I would like to conduct an experiment.
What?
Nothing harmful.
No.
If we can take just 10 minutes, just a short rest, can I cast Detect Magic as a ritual?
Yes, you can.
All right.
You guys
I
take
put
a
it
few
in this
moments.
detect magic circle.
Since you're taking some time, I would like... Give me a D10 roll this time.
10.
You have no encounters. You were able to get your detect magic off without interruption.
Excellent.
You got a bluish one, right, Callie?
Yeah.
As the rest of you come up, the others seem to get startled away and seem to maybe forget that they have a friend, and they leave. And the blue one seems to have... I do want you to make an animal handling roll, Callie.
Sure.
Let's see how well it's taking to you.
Oh my god. I swear, these are different rolls on the die, but plus my modifiers. But it is a 21.
It is
I
definitely
don't know
taking
what
to you.
it's trying to tell me.
I love it. It is no longer trying to get away. It seems happy. It's just chilling in your arms.
So I'm normally kind of like gruff and mysterious, but I've become very protective of this thing.
Yeah, the whole time Igor's like doing his whole ritual thing and just like, ooh, he's so little, so tiny.
Adorable. All right, Igor, you finish your spell. Yes, this pig is magical.
What school of magic is it?
Roll Arcana for me.
The spell automatically allows me. Unless this is a...
Yep.
I might give you a little more than that if you roll well with
Okay.
Arcana.
16.
Yeah, I think the most appropriate sphere would be abjuration. But you
Okay.
can tell the effect that this pig has is an anti-magic effect. And in fact, at some point while during this time, the pig is like trying, it's enjoying being pet by Sonora and crew, but it sees the little ball of light that Igor has summoned, and it starts straining to get closer to it. And I imagine at some point you would get close enough, and it gets to the ball of light and starts sniffing and opens its mouth and chomps it, and the light vanishes. And
Very
with your
good.
detect magic up, you can see it just dispelled or absorbed the magic of that light spell, of that light cantrip. It seems very pleased.
Interesting.
What, Igor? Make more. This it's hungry. Come on.
Yeah, I'll just cast it again.
Oh, it very cheerfully noms it up again. Just like a little snack.
I would like to try one other thing, if I may, and I'm going to cast Mage Hand and lift the pig.
You lift the pig squirms until it can reach the mage hand with its mouth and starts licking it, and the mage hand is dispelled and the pig falls. Sonora, make a dexterity saving throw to grab the pig.
All right. It's not the best. 12.
It's like borderline, but you do barely catch it. You like have to truly scramble. Throw yourself off balance. It's not graceful at all. And if you guys... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Just a gasp of shock that our dear new friend almost fell.
It sort of squirms and wriggles.
I loved him more than any family member I've ever had. It has been 5 minutes. 10 minutes to cast a spell.
It sort of squirms and wriggles and climbs its way back up into your arms. And I think that might be a good place to pause for our break for tonight.
All right.
Do we have a sponsor?
5 minutes.
We do. Hi there, friends. Have you been done wrong by an ex-lover, a stingy landlord, or just some random person on the street? Or maybe a rival group of adventurers beat you to the bounty you so richly deserved? Well then, maybe you need the help of the Revengers. The Revengers are a group of socially minded yet morally flexible individuals that have no qualms about conducting petty acts of revenge on the object of your derision. Just listen to these testimonials. Sharon S. from Neverwinter writes, "My boyfriend started sleeping with somebody who I thought was my best friend, so I hired the Revengers. And in no time at all, they broke into his house, cast polymorph on his cat, and as quick as you can say, you rotten two-timing bastard, a giant dinosaur turned his scummy little shack into a pile of unlivable rubble. They were so creative and so discreet. Thanks, Revengers." Here's one from Doug T. in Baldur's Gate. "My landlord refused to fix my leaky roof, and my meager belongings got drenched and mold started growing on everything. So I hired the Revengers, and the next day they went out to his house disguised as prestidigitation cleaning service. But instead of cleaning up the place, they just cast conjure food and water, summoning massive amounts of messy, greasy chili all over his nice Lantanese rugs, and then used prestidigitation to make it smell like weak old baby vomit. Best of all, the greedy old codger has no idea that I put him up to it. Thanks, Revengers." So if you're in need of petty vengeance and have reached the end of your wits, look no further than the Revengers. No job is too small, no target too unworthy, and no act of petty revenge comes anywhere close to making us feel even slightly ethically uncomfortable. So get in touch today and let us be the nightstand in the dark to the toe of their I'm going to do that one again. So get in touch today and let us be the nightstand in the dark to the toe of their insignificant little lives. The Revengers. Foul feats finished filthily and affordably. This message brought to you by Vecnicorp. Vecnicorp. always ready to lend a hand.
Yay!
Bravo. All right, well, don't forget to hire the Revengers for your next dastardly deed. And with that, let's take a short break. We will be back in 5, folks. Hope to see you soon. Hello, everyone. Hopefully we're back. Random OBS crashing. My favorite thing. I'm going to try setting the encoding rate still down further and see what that does. Do you guys see us? Are we live? Is this happening?
I don't know. I'm on commercial.
I see us on Twitch, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Pixie can see us, so
All right.
all is right.
Excellent.
All right. And that's the only important person. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, I'm going to the lowest encoding rate it will let me go to. So hopefully our quality isn't god-awful, but hopefully we won't crash. So fingers crossed. Anyway, if you're having fun watching this, go check out the module on the DMs Guild. We just released it there about 3 hours ago. Obligatory follow, subscribe, etc. And let's get back to the game. So when we last left off, Callie, aka Sonora, who, by the way, is a woman. I misgendered her earlier. I apologize. Had discovered a blue piglet, a blue glowing piglet that apparently eats magic. And I believe you guys had explored that a little bit. And what's your next move going to be?
Well, I suggest that we send Giselle up to take another scout around and see which direction that house is now.
I am rather useless when it comes to the magic things, and quite frankly, the pig is cute, but I am bored of the pig. No offense, Sonora is very cute.
He doesn't mean
I
it.
rescind it. We can stay here. I will die in these woods. It's fine.
That seems a bit of an extreme reaction, but you're your own person.
I apologize. I had my heart set on like perhaps I don't know, something sous vide or something. I've been dying for a pat of butter.
I mean, they did say that they would reward us for finding the caravan members. Maybe they will have some wine or something, I'm sure.
Well, at the very least, we should, as you're familiar, as make any heads of tails of the. I'm sorry, you understand what I'm trying to get at, right, Arlosy?
Sometimes, yes.
Oui.
So, onward then?
Onward, yes.
You keep making your way through the forest. The others of these little piglets seem to have made themselves scarce by now. But you do hear another howl of those wolves in the distance. Sounding a little farther away this time. Can I get a roll, a d6, please? Who wants to do it this time?
I have cat lap.
Okay, gotcha. Enough said. Another 6. God. All right.
Ooh, very nice. And
Could be good,
give
could be
me
bad. Who knows?
Who knows? Hot dice.
I'm actually going to look for 2 more d6s. Give me the first one.
2.
All right, and the second one.
4.
So you are coming through the trees. I would like each of you to roll me a perception test.
Ooh, okay.
That will be a natural 20.
That would be a 2.
Mine's a dirty 20.
All right. So Igor, you notice at first, you hear something moving in the bushes, and then a little bleating and snorting sound. At first, you think it's another pig, but very quickly you realize it's the sound of a goat, a little billy goat. And at that moment, it bursts out of the bushes and charges The one who rolled worst on their perception check. That's going to be you, Reese.
What's up?
This Billy Goat just dun 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 dun. I mean, all 45 pounds of it charging right at you, full speed. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh, absolutely, that is going to hit.
All right, that is going to be 2 damage.
I'll take it.
Kaboom!
Yes. Oh God. Definitely very surprised. I'm gonna just fumble to get my rapier out of its hilt.
It lets out an angry bleat and starts looking around for its next victim. Now that it's taught Crew a lesson he won't forget.
Oh God.
You know, I don't think I'm actually going to unsheath my rapier. I think I'm going to use it more as a sheathed, just don't hit me again, man. Poking stick type vibe. I'm not trying to kill some random goat. That doesn't seem very nice.
Fair.
So yeah, I'm just like, this animal. I try and keep it away from me.
It looks around and it seems to settle on Igor as its next target. I would like all of you to roll, anyone who wants to take an action, to roll an initiative check.
All right. Oh. How do you handle critically failing in initiative?
You
Do I
just...
go faster?
All right. I think this is not technically correct, but I do like to deal with critical fails on initiative. You do not get to act the first round. You will re-roll initiative next time.
I got a 14.
Alrighty.
I also received a 14.
Okay, well it got a 13, so you guys are going first. What do you want to do?
Let's see here. I think I'm going to prepare a grapple. I figure, two goats, they bust heads. I'm in it for the duel, I'm not gonna just stab some animal. I have to best it in its own game. So yeah, I'm going to prepare a grapple in case it charges at me again so I can catch it and lock horns, so to speak.
Yeah,
Who do you think you are? I am.
Awesome. What about you, Chad?
I'm going to cast Grief.
So it comes charging right at you. You get your grease spell off moments before it completes the charge, but it's still just far enough away from you. And that triggers a dex save or something, right? To keep from falling down?
Yeah. Dex saving throw DC 13.
It fails. It goes slipping and sliding on the grease spell and falls down. Hooves flailing in all direction and horns and letting out these angry bleating noises, but it can't seem to get its feet under it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that as that seems like a close enough to it. I could drop a wrestling move on it and call that successfully besting at its own game.
Sounds good. You want to grab it at this point? Use that prepared.
Yeah, so I'm going to...
You can roll with advantage because it is prone.
Oh, 3, okay. Let's use that advantage. 7!
Even with advantage?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Not ideal.
It manages to squirm away from you somehow. You don't quite get it. It's going to try to stand up, and it succeeds. It gets its feet under it, though it's very wobbly, and it might fall down again if it takes any steps.
Yeah, I think I probably went for the full, body slam, tap it out move, so I think I'm probably prone.
Just in the grease now.
Yeah.
At that point, it begins to speak in a feminine voice. Wait, please, help me. I'm not I'm not this goat. I don't know what happened. I came out into the forest looking for Tessie and Dim. They got lost gathering firewood. And now, what's going on?
Are you perchance Kara?
Yes, I am.
We were sent by Lemma and what was the other gentleman's name? Gorl, perhaps?
Barl.
Barl, they're the same. And John Doe. We were sent to find you. We believe we've also met your associate Rhett, who is currently a tiny blue dragon, and several glowing pigs of some description that you may also be associated with.
You met Kara and... you met Lemma and Barl and John Doe? They're safe? Thank
For
goodness.
the moment, yes.
Now I just need to... I need to... And she seems to... The goat starts sort of twitching. And then it opens its mouth again and works its lips. And then just this angry billy goat bleat comes out.
No mercy until you tap.
And I'm gonna go for another grapple. That's a 2. Well, 5.
Well, it might roll worse. It does not. you lunge at it once again, but slip on the grease. It steps back. You roll around. It winds up standing on top of you while you're just like filthy and covered in mud and grease. The goat's just standing on top, clearly having gotten the better part.
Right where I want you to be. Wait until my next move.
We used to have this back at the university. They call it goat yoga.
The goat lets out another angry bleat. What is your next move here, guys?
Maybe we should just leave the goat alone? Or, I don't know, I could tie it up. I've got some rope.
Well, if our young friend could find a way to actually restrain it long enough for you to tie it, that might help.
I'm not sure if this is something Crew can handle, so I'll give it a shot. I'll take out my rope while he's kind of tussling with this
Crew
goat.
seems to have been bested. Like the goat's just standing on him at this point.
Have you guys ever seen the grease pig thing at the rodeo? Like, I feel like this is exactly what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Callie, roll it.
Okay, what am I rolling, though?
You can use either athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. Let's do acrobatics. Oh, nat 20!
Nice. This goat fights fiercely. It is the goat of the damned. But man, you're just on fire today. You grab it by the horns and throw it down.
Oh, can I hog tie it?
Sure.
All right, I hog tie it. Then afterward, I just kind of like dust some of the mud off me, and I say, "That's how they did it back in my hometown." I was the 2-time state champion, actually.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Excuse me.
How is Crew reacting to being one-upped by Sonora here?
Well, you see, this was because I got them right where I wanted them, and this was an organized team play. So I basically contributed to about half of this scenario in my estimation.
I accidentally trip him.
Yeah, like starting to clamber to my feet and like, oh God.
Oops,
I
sorry.
dispelled the grease
slippery.
spell some time ago. I'm not sure why you're still slipping all over the place.
Right, yes, it's just my this fine chainmail is just polished to a high degree. That is all.
Well oiled.
It is quite shiny. Did you also add some sort of noise amplifying grease to it? Because it clinks somewhat vehemently.
Oh, yes, it is important for the common folk to know when a man of great import is walking the streets, you understand.
Of course, yes.
And speaking of gentlemen of great import, I could use a bass. What say we get us at the menor?
I believe
I leave the goat next to a tree, and I look at you and I say, "Crew, carve your initials into this one so we don't forget which one."
Senora, I think perhaps maybe you have earned this tree.
So
All right, I'll take out a chair.
So are you bringing the goat along, or are you leaving it by the tree?
We're gonna leave it by the tree.
Okay.
I don't feel like taking a greased up goat with us. Only a tiny, adorable pig.
Yeah.
You can't take all the animals.
The pig, incidentally, now that things have calmed down a little bit and it's not running from all the clamor the goat is making, now it's trying to, it's sniffing the air and trying to climb out of your arms toward the goat.
Oh, no, you can't eat that. I'm sorry. I know.
Well, I mean,
But perhaps it will have some adverse effect on the magical enchantment that is surrounding this creature.
Oh, good point.
Oh.
Okay. But if it starts to try to eat it, we're done.
Well, yes, let's not let things get that far.
Okay. I let it down near the goat.
The pig is making like eager whimpering noises. You've let it down and it bolts toward the goat with just like absolute delight and leaps up and starts licking it all over. And you can almost see these magical sparkles start to come off the goat and flow into the pig's mouth. And it's just like gobbling them up. And as these sparkles leave the goat, its form changes into that of a mature woman, seated by the tree, still bound by the ropes that you tied the goat with. She looks at you and says, "Thank the gods."
No, we're not any of those.
Well, I mean, sorry.
You're a legend in your own mind, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just glad we didn't go through it. I was thinking like a roast goat, but that would have been unfortunate.
I'll say, can I, do you mind? She holds up her hands with the ropes.
I untie it.
She stands up and takes a deep breath and sort of rolls out her shoulders. Oh, it feels good to be me again. Who
Can
are
you tell
you?
us
How
what-
did you find me?
We are simple travelers on the road, and we encountered your friends back in what was supposed to be the glade that you were supposed to have met in after they came back from town with their supplies. But the glade had disappeared, and you all had gone missing. So we thought we'd take a, meander through the woods to see if we could find what had happened to you.
This has
Weird.
been the strangest night of my life, I think. We camped in the
Oh,
glade.
you're
but-
young yet.
Well, thank you, but not as young as I once was. And you can see some streaks of gray in her hair. We camped in the glade, but then something happened and the whole forest sort of changed. We saw these bubbles floating through the air between the trees, apparently just floating on their own, but anything that came near them was changed. Turned to different colors, turned to something else. We saw a tree sprout feathers. One of our horses turned into a flock of seagulls and flew away.
They ran so far away.
At the time, two of the children from our camp were out gathering firewood, and I was worried about their safety, so I took Rhett and we went out looking for him, but that's the last thing I remember.
Well, we saw Rhett somewhere back behind, but I don't think we could find our way back there until we have dealt with whatever this foul enchantment affecting this woods is.
We, in addition, it was flying in the form of a blue dragon, so perhaps it would be a bit, well, we don't know where exactly they went, so.
But if you wouldn't mind accompanying us towards the maison on the hill, perhaps we will find more answers there.
Well, I'd certainly rather travel with you than wander about these woods alone.
Well, you are welcome with us.
I wish I could guide you to the caravan, but I'm just not... Wait. I think... We parked in a... We stopped our wagons in a spot that was near a little stream. Sort of the most downhill spot of that stream before it crosses the road. Look, up there. Do you see the stream? Maybe if we follow it, we'll get back to the caravan.
Seems reasonable.
And also perhaps a slightly less overgrown and difficult to traverse portion of this environs.
Well, we can hope. And she sort of begins tromping off in that direction.
Look out for any bubbles.
You too.
I'm gonna scoop up the pig and head off after as well.
The pig curls up in your arms and seems well satisfied.
You came in handy. Good thought, Igor.
I do have my moments, master.
Go ahead and let's get one more encounter test. Somebody roll me a d6.
4.
All right. Roll me another d6, please.
3.
So you're going along. You get to the stream, and there's in the light of your light spell, you can see... Actually, you don't even need the light spell. They're also glowing slightly. You see a swarm of... the stream bed is filled with toads. Brightly colored toads that are lightly glowing, like the pigs were. They're sort of hopping around the stream bed. And they look up as you approach, and they all start croaking in a chorus.
Can I try and pick one up with Mage Hand?
Okay. Clearly poisonous. I apologize.
Yes, be very careful. I know people from your land tend to consider these something of a delicacy, but I think we should not take anything at face value, especially glowing toads.
We, especially considering the last thing I considered eating ended up being a person, I'm a little bit unsettled with the... I'd like to know where things come from, I think.
As you reach out and pick up the toad with Mage Hand, it lets out one more sort of croak, and then it pulls its lips back to reveal a row of sharp teeth, and its mouth opens larger than it probably should, and it bites the Mage Hand. How many hit points do Mage Hands have?
0.
All right.
It's just a magical effect.
It breaks the Mage Hand. And the toad falls to the ground. It lets out a very confused and discomfited croak.
I was about to let down the pig to see if it could dispel the magic, but after it bites the mage hand, I quickly pick up the pig.
I suggest we give these toads a wide berth.
Yes, my rapier is perhaps the worst suited weapon possible for dealing with some such scourge as this.
Yeah.
You steer clear of this swarm of toads and move on along down the river and down the stream. And actually, quite quickly, before too long, you see a clearing up ahead. And in the clearing are 4 wagons arranged in a square shape to kind of like provide a central gathering area with a fire pit between them. You see a few people gathered around the fire and some others sitting on top of the wagons keeping a lookout.
As I suspected, they were incompetent. Wagons, clearing, It's very obvious.
Kara, or is it Kara? Sorry, I've never been good with the long A's. Are these your associates?
They are. This is fantastic. And she starts marching ahead down there, and as she does, her body starts changing again. And she lets out a strangled like cry of frustration. That's all she can get out before she's a goat again.
Ready the pigs!
No! To the pig! I rushed the pig over to her.
The pig is much less interested this time. He seems pretty sated. He showed almost no interest in the toads. But when you bring him right up next to the billy goat, he's like, yeah, I could eat a little more. And like he starts licking the billy goat again and dispels it once more. But after that, the pig falls into a deep slumber. You feel like this pig might be full.
It's like when you have half a plate of fries left on your plate at a restaurant and you're full, but nobody takes them away, so you just keep on eating.
Yeah, exactly. Kara
Like he's speaking directly to you, Ashton.
I feel so seen. Oh man. She comes back to her own form and says, oh, that is so uncomfortable. Thank you.
Right, I was not looking for a round two. I'm so glad that the pig.
Roll my sleeves back down.
Hello? Are any of you other people prone to turn into goats?
You see a woman sort of stand up on one of the wagons and she says, hello? And Kara calls out, hello, it's me. It's Kara with some friends. They're friends. Put away the crossbows. Tell Kylos we're coming in. And with that, they sort of make room for you to come in between these wagons. And you see a gathering of people, maybe somewhat less than a dozen, including two that are children, that seem to match the descriptions that Lemma gave you at the beginning of her two children. They're
but
here
we don't
with
see
the others.
Lemma or Barl or John Doe here.
What was that? Oh, no.
We don't see...
No, none of them. They all sort of gather around asking lots of questions, which Kara doesn't really have answers to. She kind of directs them to you. There's one man, a fairly well-built young smith, who comes up and gives Kara a huge hug, and the two of them just are like, apparently a married couple, and just very, very glad to see one another.
While all this is happening, can I send Giselle back up to scout around, see if we can notice the direction of that house on the hill?
You look ahead, and you send Giselle up to scout around, and she sees the manor. You are now definitely closer to it. It's not like right there. You still got some distance, but you've covered at least half the distance to that manor.
How long have you folks been settled here in this clearing?
The muscular young man that was hugging Kara turns to you and says, oh, we've been here the better part of 4 or 5 hours now, I'd say, since well before sunset. Things got
How many
weird
of you...
just a couple hours ago.
How many of you are there still missing?
Well, there were the two young'uns who went out seeking firewood and never came back. That's Tessie and Dim. And,
I'm sorry, you named your child Dim.
well, he's not my child. He's a bit of an orphan boy we took in, but that's the name he came with.
Sort of gives him a rough start in life, doesn't it?
And for an orphan, that seems rather cruel. Some people.
Well,
Perhaps when we find him, we can give him a new name.
I
Like
just...
Frostfield, perhaps.
Coup de trois the second.
Oh, the lad shows promise. Figured he would want a new name sooner or later. I think it was a nickname given to him by the other orphans in the street.
Well, dim
yes,
in
or-
Elvish means acorn, so I don't see the big problem.
Very
Oh.
appropriate.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I forgot. I'm a little rusty. I don't see my mother's half of the family very often here. Ugh. So serious. Anyways, shall we approach? Or I'm a little concerned that there may be some sort of proximity related to the retransformation of our friend Kara here.
Well, I wonder if she has some lasting effects from whatever enchantment infected her, since she did try to turn back into a goat after having been released from that form. I shall have to make some very studied note. Can I have a blood sample?
Kara says, "Whoa, I'm not sure about all that blood sample stuff, but
Then perhaps some stool.
Igor, polite company here.
we have a stool. Do you want to sit by the fire? Here," she pulls a stool
He
forward.
does.
You know, that would be lovely.
She turns to her husband and says, "Kylos, I'm afraid you'd best lock me in one of the wagons. I seem to have a nasty habit of turning into a goat."
But if you happen to find any glowing pigs in the forest, they're quite efficacious at remedying this malady.
They sort of talk that over a little bit. And then one of the little boys, maybe about 11 years old, comes up and says, "Excuse me, did I hear you say my parents' names? Have you seen them?"
Lemma and Baru?
"Yeah, that's them and my older brother, John Doe. He's with them."
They sent us to find you.
"Oh, good. Can you tell us which way they are? I want to go see them."
Not at the moment.
Oh.
We have some more investigation to do. I think it's best if you remain here in the circle of the firelight with the rest of your friends.
Okay.
But perhaps, Igor, could you have what's her name, Giselle, just fly up? Can she see the previous caravan? Do we know what directions it's in? I feel like I've been turned around.
That's a valid question.
Do you want to send Giselle?
Yeah, I mean, when she's up there, she's 360.
She, from directly above, she's looking around, and the tree canopy seems pretty thorough. She can't discern where the road is.
Yeah, and on that note, is there a clear road like in and out of this clearing, or is it just kind of like how did these? Okay,
Like,
interesting.
they just appeared here?
And Kylos will say, like, if you guys are talking about this, he'll say, "When we came in here, the road was right there. I mean, we went off the road, but just enough to be out of sight. You know, we didn't want any trouble. We weren't trying to go deep into the forest, and I mean, you could see it if you walked just a little ways, and it's gone."
Interesting. Has anyone approached the manor over on the ridge? Is it perhaps Kara was investigating that, and that's where she was afflicted with whatever malignant Igorism might be affecting her?
Gotoplasty, I would wager.
Right, it is Igorism. Is this yes?
Well, no, we talked about it. Kara and Rhett, they went to look for the young'uns, for Tessie and Dim. They didn't come back either. You know, we thought about sending someone to go look for that manor, but for help, but we figured it's best just keep everyone here, keep everyone safe.
Oui.
Hunker
I think
down,
that was a wise decision.
wait it out.
Has anyone interacted with these bubbles? I've seen some colored bubbles floating around. I saw the pigs eat them, so clearly some magical. Is there something that anyone else interacted with?
I don't know. They just, I mean, they kind of look pretty, but aside from that, I'm not really sure.
I would recommend giving them a wide berth.
Do you think it could
Do
all
they
be?
seem to be?
Do you think it could be coming from that manor?
Well,
Have you been seeing the bubbles come from there?
it seems to be the one fixed point in all of this that we can find.
Well, we haven't walked around much, so I wouldn't know. I did climb a tree to look around, and yeah, I did see some of those bubbles over by the manor. Hard
Oh,
to
you
tell.
heard the wolves too, I understand.
No.
Oh,
I mean, I did hear the
Well,
wolves, but never mind.
insight check? I insight check the DM. That
Sure.
one. All right.
Go ahead and roll it.
That one.
What's your now? Oh, okay.
What's my insight bonus?
Yeah.
+0. Oh wait. Yeah, +0.
He realized that Crew climbed the trees to get away from the wolves, and just stopped talking to avoid embarrassing Crew, because that's not why he climbed the tree.
That's a little homie. What a good little buddy. Love that. Well, in light of our lack of information and, well, clearly the, strangeness of the highest order, perhaps it is best we investigate this, manor.
I concur.
I think so.
Or perhaps I don't. Igor, I must level with you. It's when you are not tired is confounding to me. I don't understand how your za works. So if you need to sleep or take a break, just we can all be regaled by my stories.
Well, that is an interesting question. Though I think I would prefer not to spend any longer in this forest than absolutely necessary. I can go on for quite a while before I will require rest to refurbish my abilities. I still have a few tricks up my sleeve.
You're quite the character, Igor. If your back becomes any more hunched with exhaustion, I'll make sure to take a note.
What hunch?
Oh, right. Sorry, never mind.
Well, if you guys are you guys heading up toward the manor?
I believe
Yes.
so.
And that looks like a pretty good place to stop for the week.
All right.
Good session, everyone. Thank you, those of you who came and stayed till the end. We appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, now's a good time. Don't forget to like.
Please
subscribe.
hit us up on the Discord.
Hit us up on the Discord. Want to drop that link in again?
One more time. One more time.
And
Um,
one more
that
time.
was
This is this is a DM's Guild module. We just published live on DM's Guild about 4 hours ago now. And if you like what you see, go buy it there. Come to the Discord, hang out, say hi, come visit us.
You too could have a glowing blue pig.
That dispels magic
Whittling.
temporarily.
That just lost magic.
We are
It
also,
could be you.
other little announcement, hoping to get back on track with the YouTube stuff. So hopefully we can get this this one wrapped up and polished and put on YouTube soon.
And then we'll start on the backlog.
Yeah. That's what I always tell my students with their homework. Like, do tomorrow's homework first, then worry about the stuff that's already late. All right, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, y'all. This has been so much fun.
Thanks for coming, Reese.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week, 7 o'clock Pacific time. Same bat place, same bat time. Have a
Roll
good one.
high. Don't suck.